Nature has been defined as the phenomena of the physical world collectively, including plants, animals, the landscape, and other features and products of the earth, as opposed to humans or humans' creations. I would say, however, that this is a flawed idea, as it separates humans from nature at its core. Humans are as much a part of nature as anything else. Our creations are also part of nature by extension. There is not a thing in material existence that is not made of natural elements. If nature is defined as features and products of the earth, then we, as a product of the earth, are nature and all of our creations by extension. I understand that most of our creations are really not good for the rest of the natural environment, but that does not make them any less a part of nature. Humans are unprecedentedly creative, and we have the ability to create extensions of ourselves that can manipulate matter in the most incredible ways. The issue lies within the problems our creations make for the rest of the natural world. We have the power and means to create a utopia for all life forms around us, yet we are so consumed by what we can get out of nature using our creations for ourselves that we ignore this fact. Cities, as they are today, are probably the worst of all creations. The very nature of the existence of a city creates a demand for energy, food and materials that is completely unsustainable and disastrous to the rest of the environment. The cities we live in are nothing more than an homage to the death of the natural creations of the planet. Cities are literally made of nothing but dead nature. All of our technology too. The over-farming of the land and seas is completely devastating to all life. We are approaching a point of no return. We still have a chance to save nature, but the common problem people seem to think is that they don't have enough money to change things. This is simply pointless. The question is not, do we have the money, but it is, do we have the means to change things? The answer is yes, and that is all that should matter. Forget the economy, forget the monetary issues. If we have the power to save the planet, then we should do it, because what use are economy, politics, money, if everything is dead and gone? We must take action everywhere now if we are to save nature and by extension ourselves. We have left it so late to act that we have no other choice if we are to survive. A key part of nature is mycelium. Mycelium is a network of intelligent fibres that link all naturally occurring plant life on our planet. It is everywhere. To put this into perspective, when you walk in the forest, there are about 8 miles of mycelium per square inch of ground you walk upon. And it is everywhere. You know of the reproductive fruiting bodies of this network as mushrooms and fungus. Mushrooms and fungus are a key part of nature, if not the single most important part. Their role in nature is vast and almost incomprehensible. The mushroom is designed to grow on dead material and convert it back into its raw elements to then redistribute back through the mycelial network. That's the reason most people have a slight fear of mushrooms. They are associated with death. However, the very nature of what they do should also be associated with life and rebirth. Once a mycelium has converted and extracted all the elements from the dead material, they redistribute it back into the ecosystem. They forge alliances with plants, trees, and even animals. For instance, if you have a mycelial mass that feeds on dead trees, it will allow certain plants and grasses to grow near these trees for animals to feed on. As the animal comes to feed on the plant, it will knock branches and twigs loose from the tree, sending them to the ground where they will be trampled on and broken, allowing the fungus to infiltrate and begin digesting. This is just one example, but I assure you the role of mycelium is much, much more, and it clearly demonstrates incredible intelligence. Fungi are at the beginning, middle, and end of all life as we know. These do not just exist under the ground, but they are within the trees and plants themselves and allow a form of communication between these different parts of nature. They are patient, playful, and omnipotent in their role and have had a hand in the creation of all life as we know it. One of the oldest fossils ever found is of mycelium. It is 2.4 billion years old. The oldest mushroom ever discovered is a fossil of a fully formed mushroom from around 900 million to 1 billion years ago. This is unbelievable. Not only does this prove that fungi are one of the oldest forms of life that we know of, but it also shows that they have had their form for hundreds of millions of years longer than any other life form on this planet. These, as Paul Stamets says, are the true ancients of this world. They are the grand architects of all existence as we know. Fungi are not plants, they are not animals, They are a kingdom of their own, and if you look at where the other kingdoms come from, you will see that almost all life descends from fungi, even humans. We actually split from fungi 650 million years ago. You are a type of fungi. You breathe like a fungi, you digest like a fungi. Your brain is like a complex form of mycelium with nerves that stretch to all points of your body, allowing the unconscious communication between all parts of yourself so that they can work harmoniously. The only difference between you and a mycelium is that all of your organs are internal, a closed circulatory system. When you are close to someone and talk, you send out microbial spores like a mushroom. The similarities are endless. So what does this all mean? I know I'm talking a lot about fungi, but if I'm to talk about nature, then I must take note and pay respect to these absolutely fascinating and omnipotent beings, as it seems that they are the reason that there is life at all on this planet. And I am positive that when we eventually find other life in our universe, it will be similar, if not the same. Fungi are the creators and moderators of life. They are highly intelligent organisms that have the ability to create nature in their image. Humans are no accident, and this all begs the question, what is our role in nature? Where do we fit into all this? Well, to me, it would seem that our role is exactly the same as the fungi, to moderate and help all other life forms to exist harmoniously with each other, and not allow one single thing to take over. We are here to listen to nature and communicate with it. But how? Well, I don't think it's a coincidence that various mushrooms contain chemicals that fit in the receptors of human brains. They're nothing more than consumption. And when we eat these mushrooms, we are transported on a spiritual journey that is so meaningful and poignant that it transforms us at a metaphysical level. It is no coincidence that these chemicals are now being used to treat some of humans' worst mental illnesses. These chemicals are a key that allows us to communicate with the intelligence of nature, the very thing that created us. The experience, whether good or bad at the time, has been shown to have a lasting effect that makes people nicer, more driven, focused and intelligent. There are over 20,000 kinds of edible mushroom and fungi, and most of them have extremely potent medicinal uses, especially for immune support, something that is all too relevant just now. Fungi can be farmed at grand scales and have virtually zero negative impact on the environment. If anything, they will only help nature, as there is no negative byproduct of farming mushrooms correctly. Yes, you do normally grow the mycelium in a plastic bag, but there are fungi that we have discovered that actually eat plastics. And in fact, you can train a mycelium to eat almost anything, as they are remarkably adaptive. Fungi were at the birth of nature, and they will be at the end. But through humans gaining a better understanding of how they work, we can use them to save the planet and all life on it. That is our role now. To understand and communicate with nature, you must first learn its language and how to listen to it. It is waiting for all of us. Nature is beautiful and brutal, harsh and comforting, as are all things. You must have light to see the dark. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode.